Someone's got to die. So you got to kill. A referee has to be killed at some point.
Yeah.
It's the only way that. I'm just joking. I'm just joking.
No.
So we are back at WKT-FIC Radio. I'm your host, Tommy the Rock, alongside Andrew Droppin Dimes Mitchell and Evan Thor Torrens. My man, how you been?
Thanks for having me back.
How you doing?
Nice to be
Hey,
here.
buddy.
What's going on, bud?
Hey, you know.
So, Wildcard weekend's out of the way. Divisional plays here. We're going to recap the games from last week, starting with the Giants and Green Bay. So, what are your thoughts, Mitch?
Well, I believed in Aaron Rodgers, and he came through. Although I have to admit, the first, about a quarter and a half, the Giants looked like they had total control. And then, they didn't. They dropped a couple touchdowns. Rodgers hits the Hail Mary, his third in the last 13 months, whatever it is, and it was all she wrote from there. Giants couldn't get anything done.
You're right.
I'm fine with Odell going on the boat, but you got to catch those passes. I think the fix was in. I know Evan probably agrees with me on that, but Rodgers is just he's on level 5 right now. So I mean,
And everybody saw what Eli showed up. Inconsistent Eli.
called that too.
You know, the guy threw for $299, but you can't do anything when none of your running backs go over 30 yards. You shut down your 3 main receivers, Shepard, Cruz, and Beckham. And your 2 highest receivers is a tight end and a no-name wide receiver? Come on, you're not going to win games that way. Right? It's just not going to happen.
You know, the Giants really needed that strong back, to grind it out in that cold weather game. That was the one thing they were missing. I really thought they could do it when they dropped those first 2 touchdowns in the first half. And, it looked like their defense was unstoppable, and it was that Super Bowl D-back. I still had, a bad feeling. And then when they hit that Hail Mary, I kind of knew it was just over. It seemed weird, the drop passes. Beckham doesn't drop those. He catches balls one-handed for a living. And then
We saw that in the Cowboy game.
the punt return, when you're not getting the touchback, and instead you're getting pinned back down on your own 3-5 yard line a few times. And this is all setting up, though, for, people are going to back the Packers, so whatever.
As much as I would like to play the Giants for a 3rd time and try and win, it's not going to happen. But I got redemption against Green Bay. They took down Cowboys 2014 Divisional Series, saying Dez Bryant's catch wasn't a catch. He didn't make a football move. It was a whole crock of shit. So I think the Cowboys are coming to play. Dez Bryant's going to have a big game. You should roll that tape.
Yeah,
roll that tape.
We're gonna run it when we break down the upcoming game. But let's get through these. Let's get through the past real quick, and then we'll move on to the present and talk about that. So.
All right. So Detroit, Seattle.
Called that one blowout. Seattle's just another. They turn it up in Seattle, and Detroit just looked putrid, like I thought, and nothing really else to say. Although I do think Seattle is looked a lot better than they are, and I think they're gonna have their hands full this coming week. But we'll talk about that in a little bit. That's really all I got on that.
Anybody going to the 12th man has their hands full, hands down.
Yeah, and Seattle, I think, was 3-4 on the road this year, so they're not going to have that home cooking this week.
Yeah.
I thought Detroit would keep it close. I was wrong. And, that's what happened.
Well, I'll tell you something I was right about. Miami, Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
You both going on the Miami bandwagon.
Yeah,
I stayed with Pitt on a blowout.
We thought they could cover. We thought they could cover, but this was a revenge game, right?
It was. It's a revenge game.
Miami kicked their ass in week 6, and Pittsburgh came ready to play. So, and it was also 3 degrees, something like that. Not good for a team from Miami.
Not really. Yeah, true.
So,
and Pitt's used to that. So,
yeah.
on to the next one. So, Oakland versus Houston. Your man, Brock Lobster, showed up.
He did. He was not terrible. He was serviceable, as they say. And Connor Cook looks like he didn't know what he was doing.
Looked like a typical rookie. You know, going to his first playoffs, he shook, he got nervous, he shit the bed, basically, in a nutshell.
Houston's got a good pass D, rookie quarterback, your first game in a playoff game, didn't end well.
Yeah, not a good recipe.
And Brock, you know, he does a good job at not turning it over and just doing the right things, and I think he learned a lot from that Broncos run under Peyton, and his job is just to not turn it over, you know, and be a game manager, and he's getting pretty good at that.
Yeah. One thing, real quick, DeAndre Hopkins finally showing signs of life in that game. Where was that the whole season? But, you know, maybe Brock...
We need a quarterback for that.
Huh?
So let's go to the first game of the week. Divisional play.
I would say let's get Houston, New England out of the way because we all can see how that's going, right?
Biggest spread has to be in playoff history at -16 in Foxborough. Mitch, Ev, what are your thoughts on that?
The only chance is if for Houston is if Clowney takes out Brady and breaks his leg or something like that. Otherwise, we know how this story is gonna go. I mean, they earlier, I think it was week 3, the Patriots beat them 28-0, and that was with Jacoby Brissett as the quarterback. No Gronkowski.
Brissett.
I think Gronk actually played in that game, but only played like 3 snaps or something like that. So I mean, it's inevitable what's going to happen. It's just a matter of how bad the beatdown's going to be. I think they do cover. Although I mean, we should probably learn. We should probably learn from last week and just learn to, you know.
Sure, all the favorites won actually, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
4 favorites. And
Yeah.
last year...
Although, I mean, listen, it can easily revert to the mean and go, you know.
Well, last year all wild card teams underdogs covered.
Yeah.
And this year all favorites covered. So
Yeah.
Vegas repeats. There's a little Vegas
Yeah.
special.
Yeah.
So always a Vegas special
But,
going on. every year.
Houston's gotten blown out by New England like 5 times in a row. Everyone's talking about how they have no chance. I don't think they'll win, but I think they have such a good pass D this time around that maybe it'll be a close game. Maybe the Patriots will run a lot and they'll keep it low scoring. So this time around, maybe the Texans will lose by 10 instead of 20 or 17.
Yeah, I don't know.
Cover that.
I can see a blowout.
Yeah.
You can see it. That I don't think Houston's gonna be able to deal with that offense. You know, even without Gronk,
Although
they're still vicious.
Is there? You guys think there's any outside chance that this could be a repeat of the Pittsburgh and Denver back when TEBOW was the quarterback and no one saw that coming, right? It wasn't Pittsburgh like a huge favorite. And,
That's right. And TEBOW came in.
TEBOW came in.
TEBOW came in and won.
He had the 80-yard touchdown first play of overtime to Demarius.
Yep.
I mean,
typical TEBOW.
crazy things happen,
Yep.
but I don't know.
Well, he's playing baseball now, so it really doesn't matter.
On the Mets, right?
On the Mets,
That
Port
guy.
St. Lucie, bro.
Okay.
That's what he's doing.
All right, so we all feel good, and New England's gonna win. We'll talk about our gambling picks in a little bit, but what's the next game?
Pittsburgh at Kansas City. Kansas City laying 1.5. It's going to be a shootout. Good defense going up against a good offense. You know, you can go either way. It's like a seesaw, this game.
Well, this game got moved to 8 o'clock on Sunday,
That's
right?
right. That's right. 7-hour difference.
Yeah.
Went from 1 o'clock to 8:30.
Yeah, in Kansas City. It's probably going to be freezing cold, although I don't really think either team has an advantage with that because they're used to that. It gets cold in Kansas City.
Yeah, I think it gets colder in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
So, I'll give Pittsburgh the edge on that one.
I don't know. Lots of playmakers in this game. You got Bell, you got Brown, Tyreek Hill, who looks like he can score on any play, take it to the house, runs like a 4-2-4 something.
Yo, you know, in the end, man, Pittsburgh is just a playoff team. They can do shit all year. Come playoffs, they're a whole different team.
I think your Joe Public guy will like Pittsburgh here. I think Chiefs are under the radar too. They're a solid club. They got a home night game. The Freaks come out at night. This is a revenge match. Week 4,
It
the
is.
Steelers put a whooping on the Chiefs, and they'll have that in the back of their mind, or maybe the front even. And that that -1.5 spread is saying something there that the Chiefs will win on a field goal in the last minute. And I think that the big factor is the revenge, and the Steelers didn't see the real product that the Chiefs have, and I think they'll be a little bit surprised. I think the Steelers are the better team, but I think the Chiefs. I love this coaching matchup.
Yeah.
The two gamblers, the two.
Tomlin and Reed.
I think this will be the game of the week.
Yeah.
This will be.
It has the biggest potential for just anything can happen in this game.
That or Seattle versus Atlanta. Atlanta laying 4.5 home against Seattle. Once again, good offense against a good defense. Atlanta's offense is explosive, but anybody can score on them. Seattle really hasn't impressed me that much this year in their offense. Russell Wilson's not the Russell Wilson, but you don't know what Russell Wilson's going to show up. So
everyone's talking about no Earl Thomas for Seattle. Their best safety, right?
Yeah.
So that's a factor there.
Yeah.
They're not at home with the 12th man. That's a huge factor. I think they're 3-4 on the road this year, and Atlanta has been playing great at home. And Matt Ryan's been putting up huge numbers. Best quarterback in the league, I think, statistic-wise.
Yeah.
MVP candidate, hands down.
He's probably gonna win.
Hands down. The guy has 7 interceptions this year, over 4,000 yards, 30 touchdowns, 35, something like that. So, other than that, they'll probably give it to Brady. Like always.
Julio versus Sherman.
I was just going to say that.
It's going to be, there's lots of good matchups within this game. I think another thing, I don't know if he's definitely playing, but I think Seattle's getting Procise back for this game. And he looked dirty.
He's a good running back.
He looked dirty.
He's quick as shit, I'll tell you that.
The couple of games that he did play. So you got him and Rawls. They're going to... Like you said, Atlanta's D is just...
But, Seattle wants to win this game. Sherman needs to step up because Julio Jones will be all over the place. So...
Yeah.
Because he's a stud. Stud.
He certainly is. I would have to maybe put him as 1A to Antonio Brown's 1B as best receiver.
Those two have been 1 and 2 probably the last 2 years at least. 2-3 years.
I think this is I could see this being a close game. I think Matty Ice is gonna keep it going, although he does not have the record in the playoffs. But
well, my man right here said this is why they call him Ice. So we'll see what happens in this game.
Yeah,
he always buckles under pressure in the playoffs. So
he's bad under pressure.
Yeah.
So we'll see when that spotlight gets on him, when that popcorn starts popping.
Popcorn.
He could be like last year's. This is by far his best year. Sort of like Carson Palmer last year. He had his career year and then came down to the playoffs and he just, threw up a stinker. So.
I think they'll win this week and then lose next week.
Yeah, I think they're going to win this week. I think, like I said, Seattle they looked a lot better than I think they are. They haven't really been the team they've been the last couple of years where they're perennially just kicking everyone's ass. So I'm taking Atlanta to win this, although it's going to be a close game. So
I take Atlanta also.
All right, well.
But player of the week for divisional round, Dez Bryant.
Green Bay, Dallas.
So before,
Cowboys laying 4.5.
Yeah, I was gonna say before we get into this matchup, do you want to take a trip down memory lane and relive what happened in 2014?
That's not a bad idea. You know what? Somebody roll that clip. Roll that Dez Bryant Green Bay clip from 2014 divisional.
Oh, I have it right here. As a matter of fact.
Look at that! How convenient.
26-21 Green Bay. 5 minutes to go in the game.
This is big.
Dez Bryant wide to the left side. 4th down and 2.
And this could be the game.
At the Green Bay 32 with under 5 minutes in the game. Blitz is coming. He throws a deep ball to the left side, and the ball is Bryant. Caught the ball. I do not know how Dez Bryant accomplished that physical feat.
Wow, you talk about confidence in the guy. Tony Romo had it there.
Oh my goodness.
You're the baddest motherfucker in the planet. All right, if we don't score here, you got to go do it again.
A sensational catch, my goodness, by Dez Bryant over Sam Shields. Unbelievable.
They have thrown the challenge flag. What are they challenging?
I think they're challenging the catch.
Should be touchdown.
Hey, that's the catch.
It's a touchdown though?
No, it was ball hit before he got the line.
Well,
Thank
okay.
goodness.
Is he on the one though?
If he caught it.
I see the ball jarred loose, but it is not ever out of his control. I don't think the ball ever touches the ground.
There's no question the ball pops up, but I thought his hand was under it at the time.
I did too.
I got to see one that tells me something differently, you know?
After review, it has been determined that the receiver did not maintain possession of the football. I tried to reach over the goal line. Why is that not a catch? I tried to reach over the goal line.
All right, so
I'll say one thing though. I mean, I see. Like, I don't see. I don't.
get it.
You
I-
see,
Now you're in Dallas. You're not in Green Bay.
Yep.
You got revenge for this catch.
Yeah, huge revenge game here. I think that's the theme of the week. We got a lot of revenge.
you know what?
games.
Everybody's saying that
pissed.
Seattle and Atlanta might be the game of the week. Pittsburgh, Kansas City might be the game of the week. This Green Bay Dallas game
No.
might be the game of the year.
Let's
You
say
know.
Giants don't give up. Let's say Giants score those first 2 touchdowns and Green Bay wins by like 3 instead of 20, or they win by 7 instead of 20. I think this is setting up perfectly for everyone to get on the Green Bay bandwagon. People think Green Bay actually has a chance versus Dallas. A lot of people are calling for the win. And I think Cowboys are going to dismantle them with the revenge factor. They beat them in September or week 4 or whatever it was without Dez Bryant. Now they got Bryant back.
That's a good point. That's a good
Packers
point.
secondary is abysmal. And the Dallas rushing defense is very good. I think they held their opponents to 83 yards a game, which was like the 3rd lowest in the NFL.
Yeah, I think so, right? Similar.
And
Sounds about right.
and their secondary is very underrated, the Cowboys secondary, and they're getting the guy back.
Maurice Claiborne's coming back this week. He's been out since week 7 or week 8, hamstring injury. He was
And
having
the
a career
Cowboys-
year.
The Cowboys only allowed 9 rushing touchdowns the whole year, which was 3rd best at least. I think it was 3rd best in the league. So
Yeah.
they're gonna easily shut down the running game of Green Bay, which is a wide receiver and 2 other guys who really
Yeah, they have no running backs.
no one knows, and you don't have Nelson anymore. So Rodgers is not gonna have his partner in crime.
It's a big miss for Green Bay.
I think
Rodgers,
everyone's
broken
gonna,
ribs.
Everyone's gonna take the Packers +4, +4.5, and Cowboys are gonna whoop them.
Well, you know what? DeMarcus Lawrence and Tyrone Crawford are back for the Cowboys. Huge. Cowboys been the healthiest they've ever been. They're the healthiest team out of all the teams in playoffs right now. So we'll see what happens. But I'm taking my boys. Player of the week.
I'm still on the ship, and the captain is Aaron Rodgers. I believe. I think he's on a mission still. And although no Jordy Nelson, calling it now, just like I called Paul Perkins, watch out for Geronimo Allison. Rodgers makes the wide receivers. The wide receivers don't make him. I'm telling you. He can throw. He's throwing these dudes open when they have no business being open. I think that if the Packers win, which I do think that they have a very good chance at, they have to. The one big flaw that they're gonna have, or the one huge problem, is stopping Zeke, because the Packers defense is very undersized. You have that huge offensive line, and
We do.
and an amazing running back who we all know what he can do. So that's the one thing that scares me. But I think, like I said, I think Aaron Rodgers is on a mission, doubling down. Although I would not be surprised at all if your boys take it. So I
You do what you will.
yeah, hey,
You
listen,
know?
And what's up to
yeah.
my boy Drew Quarless? Hope he has a good game. It's my
Okay.
friend.
Cool.
Awesome.
All right.
Awesome.
All right, so we want to run
So-
down gambling picks real
Well,
quick.
we are going to do the picks before, but what about this spread in the New England game?
16.
16 might be the highest in playoff history. That's just a guess. I could be wrong.
There's been 17 before, so.
All right. Like I said, wrong.
In the
So-
divisional round, though, I mean, it's because usually you get rid of most of the crappy teams. But yeah,
Yeah, I saw a stat in like game 16 or higher favored. I think the favorite's like 4-3 against the spread or something. or 3-4. I think the underdog does a lot. You got to remember, it's playoffs. You know?
Yeah.
16 points is a lot. They have a great pass defense. Maybe they'll force Patriots to run, which will slow down the game a little. And the game will go under and be a lot closer. Maybe they'll lose by 10 this time instead of 20.
There's still no
I
Gronk.
You got to look
no
at the
Gronk,
ESPN.
but like he said about Rodgers, Brady makes the receivers. And Edelman's been a beast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I see a blowout, 34-14, 34-17, something like that.
I think they've just blown them out so many times that like this will be the
Yeah.
one time that they maybe keep it a
Yeah.
little bit closer. I don't think they'll win.
If it was in Houston, I'd say that. They're in Foxborough. It's completely different. They're unstoppable home.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens.
I want
so what's
to
your-
believe
what's your pick?
in that the Texans can cover that 16. So I'm gonna probably be dumb, but I'm gonna take Houston I believe they can hang in under 16 points. So
All right, well,
I'll take
let's
the
see.
16 too.
You taking 16? Well, I'm going against them. I'm going to go New England minus 16.
it's a big number there.
I'm going to take Pittsburgh at plus 1.5. I'll take Atlanta at minus 4.5 and Dallas minus 4.5.
I'll take Dallas. I'll take Seattle. I'll take Houston plus 16, and I'll take Kansas City minus 1.5 to get the win.
So I'm taking Green Bay plus 4.5. I'm taking Seattle plus 4.5, although I do think Atlanta wins. I think it's a close game. I think it's a field goal game. But 4.5 seems a little too high. I'm surprised that it's that high, actually, because I feel like a lot of people would put their money on Seattle. But yeah, I'll take Seattle plus 4.5, but Atlanta wins the game. Give me Houston plus 16.
Underdog king this week. You're going all underdogs, huh?
And
All visiting teams.
And I was originally going to go with Pittsburgh, but I think I'm going to take Kansas City. Although I'm torn on that. It's really, they play this game 10 times. I think Pittsburgh probably wins 6. Kansas City wins 4. I don't know, but it's at home. I'll grab Kansas City minus 1.5. So 3 underdogs in Kansas City for me.
Well, that's it for the games and the recap. We'll see you guys next week for NFC Championship. I'm Tommy the Rock.
AFC Championship too.
Yeah, that is true. Droppin Dimes, Thor, Tommy the Rock. See you guys later.
All right.
Yo, you and these 30 breaths, you're sick. Sick. In a trance. My man's in a trance. So,
I like it.
Detroit, Seattle. Everybody saw that coming. Pretty much.
You guys didn't. I called it.
Well, you called the blowout. So, that's a security
And this
blanket.
was the reason that the Giants took the hit there. The Giants were paid off to lose. There's no way, okay? And the whole game was fixed. It was fixed, all for people to bet the Packers here and think they have a chance, and the Cowboys are going to dismantle them.
His style of running is crazy. He stays behind that line for like 2 seconds and then goes.
I like that.
It's pretty nuts.
He smokes a lot of weed, so he has impeccable vision, So, I mean, I can
wow.
see. Yeah.
No wonder he's so delayed.
Yeah.
About time.
Roger Goodell, you're a monster, and I hate you.
You are. Yeah.
Well, LeGarrette Blount leads the league in touchdowns.
That's true.
So.
Born in 1986, you're the Tiger.
There we